Yeah, I think it's always been a dream to build our own home. We've always lived in either rented or properties that we've purchased before. But I think when you're trying to shape your life into an existing property, there's always an element of compromise because the property has been built for your unique needs, wants and requirements in mind. And so the idea of being able to build our own home from the ground up and really design it and configure it so that it was shaped around our lifestyle and our needs was kind of at top of the list for us, really, wasn't it? And so in the 17th century there was a malt house on the land. I think by late 18th, 19th century that sort of fell to ruin, and so planning permission was granted based on the ability to reinstate that historical concept of a malt house. So from the front it's very quite traditional with linear windows and very strong brick buttress detailing, but to the rear is where we've kind of got that more modern architectural element.
We started an Instagram account to document our build, just for ourselves really more than anything. And then I remember Giuliano coming over to me saying, oh, I've just got a DM from Grand Designs asking if we want to be on the show. You know, they said to us, how about we just try and film a pilot?
Yeah.
Film the pilot, try it out, you know, we'll just speak to you and then let's see how you feel. And I think after we had a long conversation about it, we both decided that I think it would be a great idea to...
Yeah, I think we were documenting the story ourselves on Instagram anyway, to act as like a virtual scrapbook. And then when Grand Designs approached us, I think we thought, well, we'd get a professional documentary of the project and it might be something nice to look back on. Glazing, I think in any architecture and in any project, it's such a massive part of the design. And I think living in traditional houses, one thing that we always wanted was huge amounts of natural light in the property. I think the way it accentuates how you feel, just how you're living in the space, the amount of natural light coming in.
Being connected to the outdoors was very important. Because we're south-facing and all the glazing is south-facing, we just get so much light from early morning till late in the evening. We can sit in the living room, which is essentially all glazing, and just look outside and enjoy our life, enjoy the peace, enjoy the sunshine, and it was a very, very big part for us.
Yeah, I think the research that went into the project, we knew we wanted an aluminium frame system. Part of the project was all about having classical architectural elements like handmade brick, but then also bringing in up-to-date pieces of technology, so like aluminium glazing, corten steel. And so we knew we wanted a glazing system and product that would stand the test of time. And then I think a large focal point of the glazing was finding glazing which had slim sight lines. And so there were very few products on the market that had sliding doors with very thin profiles, because for us it was all about creating that indoor-outdoor connection and a view which isn't interrupted with big bulky frames, right? And
because what's the point of getting all the glazing if you're going to have chunky lines in between?
So with the thin sight lines, yes, aesthetically we wanted it to look good, but then we also wanted a product that was thermally efficient. You know, it stood up to performance and was structurally sound as well, because I think that's equally as important as a product looking good. So yeah, and then we found the SVG20 from Sunflex, and Part Farm Design was our closest installer.
Yeah.
We had a good chat with Lee, talked to Lee about the overall vision of the project.
He was very honest with us.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that was something that was really important to us, is we didn't want anything to be sugar-coated. I think Lee was is extremely knowledgeable, and he wasn't afraid to challenge us in terms of, it's so easy to talk about what you want in the picture and everything you want to see, but I think he was so honest in terms of what he felt was structurally going to be okay.
And Park Farm Design have been involved with our timber frame company, so even when it came to figuring out the structural requirements of the glass, what steel is required, Lee and Park Farm Design were happy to work hand in hand. And I just did an email introduction. I said, look, here's Lee at Park Farm Design, timber frame company.
And then they just did the conversation together, which was great.
And it was for a client who doesn't have that deep expertise in structural calcs for glazing and overheating requirements. It was really refreshing to work with Lee, who was just able to take everything and roll with it. I think we're super happy with the sliding door perspective. Happy. I think one of the reasons why we picked sliding doors is that we live in the UK. Yeah. The weather's not the greatest.
It isn't.
Most of the time. And so I think the doors and the inside-outside junction needs to look as good closed.
Yes, as it does.
As it does open. So when it's closed, you've got those beautiful 20mm sight lines so that your view is completely uninterrupted. And then when we do have a nice bit of weather here in the UK and you open them, we opted for the flush stacking system so that, again, you're still presented with that sight line, that it looks as if it's just a single pane of glass. We reached out to several companies about the glazing to tender for the project. We've got some big bits of glass, let's not beat around the bush. And our vision from day one, particularly with the upstairs panes, I think they're 4.5 long, 3.1 high. Yeah. And we really wanted for the project vision to keep that as a single pane with no breaks in it.
Yeah, we are so happy with how everything turned out. I think it was very much our vision of our home, I want to say, and so much more, because now it's not just a vision, we actually get to live in it. And I think there's something to say about when the weather is great, it's kind of a given that you love everything about your home. But when the weather outside is bad and it's raining and it's windy, there's something to say for also enjoying that part of it. And because the glazing is, it's been done so excellently, it's almost like we have our own natural cinema. When we sit on the sofa, we designed our sofa placement so that when you sit on one side, you're just watching out through the glazing, and you sit on the other side and you're watching the TV. And honestly, we sit on the glazing side a lot more than we do the TV side. So yeah, I think it's very lucky to have that.
Yeah, it's something looking at 2D plans and 3D models on bits of paper, computer screens, and then seeing it come to life. Yeah, it's just been amazing, really.